the Egyptian god Tehuti, who was credited with building the Giza Plateau, is Thoth the Atlantean. Ancient UFOs in Egypt. The god Tehuti arrived in Egypt with a pyramid from heaven. The text reads, "Studies show that the pyramids were covered with a strange material. To date, very little has been found about this. The Pyramid of Giza, they're aligned to the Orion's Belt, a copy of the solar system. Now, is it possible that they perform functions of energy exchange and information? Why were the Giza pyramids aligned with a celestial body?" Now, the Holy Bible, read in the original version, in the language in which it was written, Aramaic and Hebrew, you will see what they talk about, as in the Mahabharata epics of India, or the Hellenized Mahabharata is a giant Indian epic written in Sanskrit. It's one of the three most important epics in India. The others are the Ramayana and the great Puranas. The name is a compound Sanskrit word from Maha, meaning great, and Bharata, the tribe name, which means Great Bharata or Great Dynasty of Bharata. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Now, we know about the Vimanas, the flying ships of the ancient Indians, their legends. The flying ships were called Vimanas. And the original text without any intervention says this: "The god Tehuti arrived in Egypt with a pyramid that came from the sky and shone like the sun. The Egyptians named this god Chem, C-H-E-M. The god lived in the pyramid with the tribe of god Zep Tepi, who followed him. Tehuti hid the secrets of creation in the Amedi, an archive room inside a crystal ball. This room was in the ground and under the pyramid that came from the sky, and the place was very close to where the big pyramid is today. The Zep Tepi went to the skies with the flying pyramid, taking with them the crystal ball and promising to return to Earth again at the end of the age." Now, the myths and metaphors of the Zep Tepi, I found this on Crystal Links because I never heard of this before. The list of mythological gods in the grid stones of the creation of the human experiment we find in the Zep Tepi, within the void called time and space. There are those who more move from reality to reality, creating the programs. Now, through space and place known as 0 point, Zep Tepi refers to first time, a remote epoch prior to ancient Egypt, a place of awakening, a place of forgetfulness, and beginning of the end of the full of everything. It's the home of the creational forces, those who bend and shape realities. The term Zep or zipper, closing and opening, rips in time. DNA, a polymer or encoding of the DNA. Zep Tepi in Genesis, Zep means time, Tepi means first. And together they are the first or time of golden age of alchemy. And it's here they have the Orion's Belt and the Giza pyramids, as you can see. At Zep Tepi, the constellation Orion, acknowledged as the most significant constellation to the ancient Egyptians, was at its lowest point in the southern sky. From Zep Tepi onwards, precession of the equinoxes has been gradually carrying Orion or Sirius higher and higher in the sky. The Sphinx is positioned such that in 10,500 BC, time of Zep Tepi, give or take a few hundred years, a remarkable astronomical arrangement of the Sun, Orion, and the constellation of Leo occurred. Leo, Lion, and King Crown. I'll leave a link below for you for this so you can see more about this. And then it goes into Atlantis. When the earth shook, all was lost in the oceans of creation. The secret knowledge was hidden in crystals. a higher frequency element to be released at the time of the Zep Tepi. It was Tehuti, the Egyptian god, who allegedly left Atlantis in a spaceship with those who were to recreate the next program of man. They waited for the seas to settle and the sun to come out upon the glistening water below. So Tehuti allegedly left Atlantis in a spaceship. Here he says, we read previously from the Greek article I translated for you, that he left Egypt from his spaceship. So was Egypt part of Atlantis, or were Atlanteans also living in Egypt? Well, we know from the Emerald Tablets that Thoth the Atlantean was crediting himself with building the Giza pyramids. And of course, it was a colony of the Atlanteans, Egypt, that is. So, the Sphinxes, the Great Pyramid, the gods and goddesses return to the planet. The gods and goddesses, meaning, of course, the people of Atlantis who, compared to the humans, the regular humans, were, of course, very advanced philosophically and technologically. In Zep Tepi, or ancients, would visit the creation coming through their pyramids on the planet, arriving in great spaceships that would be part of humanity's recorded history. They would leave behind great reminders of humanity's creational forces, the Zep Tepi. There were 12 areas of major grid points in the planet, which the Zep Tepi moved, creating 12 nations, all of which came into being at the same time. So this is, I've never heard of the Zep Tepi, but here they talk about, here's Thoth the Atlantean. The sacred message was recorded in Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean. I just briefly saw a comment that I had in my one of my previous videos. Someone said Thoth was not an Atlantean, or Thoth was not Hermes Trismegistus. Well, the article I read, yes, he was. Thoth was known as Hermes the Trismegistus, and he was an Atlantean. So Emerald Tablet of Thoth the Atlantean, who was as the god Tehuti, was the ruler of Atlantis for an unspecified period of time, coming and going through the story of its existence. So who was the god, who as the god Tehuti was the Hermes Trismegistus, Thoth the Atlantean, Tehuti. So Tehuti was going and coming with his spaceship. There are those who say Tehuti or Thoth buried the truth about creation in the Hall of Records, Hall of Amenti, in a crystal tablet, which lies beneath the ground in his spaceship near the Great Pyramid. Okay, the spaceship is under the Sphinx near the Great Pyramid. The Zep Tepi already allegedly left behind core crystal, which supports this hologram. Some say Zep Tepi hid the information in a golden capstone above the Great Pyramid. Fascinating. I'll leave links below for you for this. Atlantis rising? We don't know. From what even Thoth himself wrote in the Emerald Tablets, the Atlanteans were so abusing their technology that it was about time that divine intervention put an end to them. Some of them escaped and built various pyramidal complexes all over the world. Please leave your comments about this, and thank you for your support.